Hey there, everybody. What is going on? Vitai Dubin is here, founder of Bitcoin's Wealth Club, where we're helping people become Bitcoin millionaires. And today, I want to discuss the recent surge of Bitcoin of over $1,100. It was 4 green days, and today a little red day. And I also want to discuss what is happening right now in the Middle East, and specifically Iran attacking the U.S. military bases and the potential for a war, which is, of course, something that we all do not really want in the world. We don't want war to happen. But this is quite significant. It's all over the news, and I do want to discuss what is happening and how is everybody reacting to it. So, first of all, I want to share my screen, and we are having some positive movement in the crypto market as a whole. It has risen just this beginning of the year from the lows of $184 billion to the highs of $218 billion. So we are talking about $32 billion increase in just the last 4 days. Not just Bitcoin rising, but also the entire crypto market. So Bitcoin has risen about $1,100 over the last 4 days. We're not yet in a tall parabolic move, as some people are saying or thinking or analyzing in this recent breakout. If we look at the trend, we are just slightly a little bit maybe over the top of this descending channel that we had since the end of June, right? So we just touched that, we got a little bit back. And if we are going to go beyond that level, maybe to $8,500, then I would say yes, we are definitely breaking the trend line. But this is quite significant. You can see that the market was ripe to rise. You can see by the volume of the trading. You can see in this day the volume started to pick up. The next day more and more, even though those little we call them dojis, those little candles over here. It was pretty ripe to rise, and that's exactly what happened. We had two crazy, amazing days for Bitcoin. Congratulations for everybody who took advantage of it on the markets. And this move right here was primarily caused by what is happening with Iran. So I want to kind of summarize what is going on. Basically, Iran has launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles against multiple bases housing the United States troops in Iraq, and threatened to have more crushing responses if Washington carried out further strikes. So initially, 9 rockets hit the sprawling Ain al-Assad air base in the country's west, the largest of the Iraqi military compounds where foreign troops are based. The attack came in 3 waves just after midnight, and then Iran swiftly claimed responsibility for the attack. So earlier, Soleimani, and I call this guy that killed a lot of people, so by the command of Donald Trump, he was killed and assassinated by the U.S. Army, and this is a retaliation response from Iran. And essentially, okay, Donald Trump tweeted, "All is well. Missiles launched from Iran to military bases located in Iraq. Assessment of casualties and damages taking place now." I don't think there were any casualties from people. So far, so good. We have the most powerful and well-equipped military anywhere in the world by far. Also, Donald Trump saying they attacked us and we hit back. If they attack again, which I would strongly advise them not to do, we will hit them even harder than we hit before. Okay, so I mean, Donald Trump is saying, and he also addressing this in the statement in the official live stream that happened from the Pentagon. He's basically saying that we'll never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, and we are going to, stop them, stop the terrorist attack, and we're going to, we're strong enough to do that. Now, from Ali Arouzi is saying Iran is warning if there is retaliation for the 2 waves of attacks. They launched their third wave, will destroy Dubai and Haifa, which is in Israel. I really don't want that to happen. Iran is saying that if there is no retaliation from America for these latest attacks, then they will stop attacking. But if America attacks, then the response will be crushing and widespread. And Javad Zarif is saying Iran took and concluded proportionate measures in self-defense under Article 51 of UN Charter, targeting base from which covertly armed attacks against our citizens and senior officials were launched. We do not seek escalation or war, but will defend ourselves against any aggression. So um, according to basically both sides, they are saying we are not really want to escalate the war, but you better keep your army and do not touch us. In a sense, that's what they're saying. So I don't know exactly what will happen if there's going to be a war or not, of course. But I sure hope that we are not going to see any kind of war developing. It will be devastating for the world. Iran has the nuclear weapon. They have invested a lot of money in order to do that, and we really don't want that to be deployed. But you can see how any potential of such a war is really making the price of gold and price of oil and of course price of Bitcoin to go up as people are moving into those environments, those safe haven as we call them, those assets, because Bitcoin is a deflationary asset and US dollars are inflationary. So when governments start to print more in order to support the war and buy the army, support the army and all of that, the price of US dollar is going to depreciate on what you can buy. The purchasing power of dollar is going to depreciate. So people are looking to hedge what they have, their assets, to protect it for future, of course, and they put in Bitcoin. And people trust in Bitcoin, and people do not trust in the governments. That's the reality. So that's exactly what is happening right now. So it's been pretty good rally, I would say. Let's get back to the chart. If we look at the monthly, we are rising on the monthly level, right? We had descending volume from here, from these two previous months, November, December, and now we are rising. So let's see what January is going to bring. If we are going to truly break out of this descending channel that we had, we are not quite there yet. We're not quite there yet, I would say. So we need to have at least $8,500 to break it in order to really confirm the parabolic move that we have been seeing recently. But it's surely nice to see Bitcoin getting in the green zone again and taking the entire cryptocurrency market with it. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and let's really focus on getting as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. The year 2020 is going to be big for Bitcoin. And by the way, according to this recent Bloomberg interview that I want to share with you as well, Bitcoin is going to maybe hit as much as $50,000 during 2020. Okay, it can rise as high as that, maybe even more than that. But what I'm foreseeing for Bitcoin is a really good year, and we're going to have a strong rally in 2020 and 2021. Of course, with some crashes as well, as it's never going to be parabolic week after week, just like that. But overall, the trend this year, next year, is going to be bullish if it's ever going to repeat what happened in 2013 and what happened in 2016 and 17, because we are exactly there in the market cycle as we are approaching very fast the big historical event in Bitcoin history, which will be May 2020, the Bitcoin halving. We're just 5 months away from this. So let's see where the next 5 months are going to take us for Bitcoin. And I suggest to prepare a dollar cost average and buy into the market, and also find ways how you can increase your Bitcoin holdings and prepare for the amazing 2020. So that's what I want to share with you today. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.